Lovely.
Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to another happening of the Daily Antidote of Soul. Here I'm Kathy Bullock coming to you, not from Kentucky, but from Bath, England, in the home of my dear friend Jane Harris, a song leader. I'm in her office up here. We're just having a blast. It's beautiful. I've been doing some workshops. She's been hosting me to do some workshops here in England. We did one Thursday. We'll do another one Saturday. We're having a cool time. And I had some time today free, and I said, let me see if I can hook up with my people at the Daily Antidote of Song. Hey, y'all. Miss y'all, you're looking wonderful as usual. Today, as usual, we have the magic going on with the Gathering Sparks duo. And I'll talk to you about them in Even Jane in just a second. And Jane, say hi to everybody.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm really happy to be here, and it's amazing to have Kathy here in Bath. It's really great. Yeah,
Don't
thank
you
you.
love her accent? Like if I grow up, I'm gonna talk just like her. Oh my God. Thank you, Joe. Here's our fearless leader, Joe. So I will greet everybody now. And those of you who are joining us on from Facebook or all the other places outside, welcome, welcome. You have come to the magic yet again on this Friday. Candace, there is our tech person. Thank you, my dear, coming to us from California. She's looking real serious because she got it, y'all. She's got it together for us. And then we have Susan. Hey. Hi, Susan. We have Deborah in Kentucky, although I'm not back there now. Hi, Arlene in Berkeley, Hoda in British Columbia, Linda in Orcas Island, not too far from us. Hi, Kathleen, who's in Albuquerque, Anne in Knoxville. Hope the weather's okay there. Ruth and Clive. Is Clive with you? They're in Birmingham, UK here. All
Okay.
right. Kathy in Colorado. Hey, Trish, who is in Belfast. Well, ooh la la. Kim, hi Kim, good to see you, Kim Wallach. Aloysius, hey, Massachusetts. Kirk and Cher in New Hampshire. Hey, Dave and Elsie in Oakland, and that you little cute little bear right there. What you have, your friend? Welcome. Gary in Massachusetts. Hey, Pauline in Newcastle. Yes. Well, Northeastern. Is that your
Yeah.
Northeastern? Bonnie in Boise. Hey, Bonnie. Hi, Carolyn in DC. Hi, Mabel and your beautiful bear. Good to see you again. Athena in Brooklyn. Hindi. Oh, this is day 1636. Woo, 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 woo.
Incredible.
Athena helped remind us of that. Hi, Hindi in Toronto. I'm moving to my next screen. Let's see. Who do I have now that I miss? Delhi is it coming to us from Maryland. Cheryl in Ontario. Storm with Kuhat in Massachusetts. Diane in Massachusetts. Louise here in the UK. Hey, near us. Annette in California. Linda in Concord. And in Silver Spring, there's another Hindi. I think I said hi to Hindi. Kevin, hey, Kevin. Nancy in Washington State. Ray. And I think that's everybody so far. So everybody with me, take a deep breath and breathe out. Why? Because we can, y'all. We have another day to celebrate life. And it is so thrilling for me to be able to share with all of you. You're looking good, looking good. Now we have Eve Goldberg and Jane Lewis from what is called Gathering Sparks. This dynamic duo has been to here in Daily Antidote of Song before. This is not their first time. So I'm going to turn it over to the two of them and let them do the magic. Take it away.
Thank you so much for having us. It's great to be here again. We're really excited to see you all. And we thought today we're coming up soon on the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation here in Canada, which is now a national holiday, quote unquote. A day for remembering and reflecting and honoring the survivors and families and communities who were affected by the horrible legacy of the residential school system here in Canada, which I know also existed in the U.S. And we have a song that's related to that called "We Are the Ones." So that's the song we wanted to sing. But Jane, do you want to say something about where we are today?
Yeah, so we're chiming in here from Guelph, Ontario, in Canada, so southern Ontario, and this is the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, the Attawandaron, and the Haudenosaunee.
And also part of the Dish with One Spoon Treaty, which was a treaty between Indigenous peoples to share the resources of the land around the lake equally and keep everything sustainable, not take too much. Everybody take just what they need, and then there would be enough for everybody. And so we're really honored to be here today and to be living on this land that's been cared for centuries by many different peoples. And this song was sort of, we wanted to talk about being non-Indigenous, being white people, settlers, and wanting to work towards better relationships and righting some of the wrongs that have been done and acknowledging the history and that sort of thing. So it's called "We Are the Ones." And
I think there'll be some lyrics coming up.
Yeah, so it has a chorus that you can sing on, and it says, green grass still grows, the river still runs, we are, is that it?
In our hearts,
in our hearts we know. You know how when you speak a chorus, it just disappears. Green grass still grows, the river still runs, in our hearts we know, we are the ones. And those words refer to some of the earliest treaties between Europeans and Indigenous people, which were supposed to remain in effect as long as the green grass grows, as long as the rivers run, as long as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So that's kind of part of where the words came from. So the chorus sounds like this. 1, 2, 3. Green grass still grows, the river still runs, in our hearts we know we are the ones. You want to try that with us? Green grass still grows, the river still runs, in our hearts we know we are the ones. Everybody good with that? All right, so I think we're going to start right into it. Are you ready, Jane?
I am.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here and for singing with us. And this is called "We Are the Ones." We've been down in the valley where the sun don't shine, been walking in the shadows for a long, long time. We sowed seeds of destruction at the end of a gun. Now we need to reckon with the damage done. Green grass still grows, the river still runs, in our hearts we know we are the ones. We've seen the promise broken when the deal goes down, shed tears of sorrow on bitter ground, but the guiding spirits of the ones who've gone stand beside us and call us on. Green grass still grows, the river still runs, in our hearts we know we are the ones. We are the ones to tend the flame. We are the ones to lay down this shame. We're standing on the threshold. We have eyes to see. We are the ones. We hold the key. It's gonna take some anger and the will to fight, the rage and the stillness, the dark and the light. It's gonna take courage and a fierce kind of love, the grace of compassion and the strength of the dove. Green grass still grows, the river still runs. In our hearts we know we are the ones. Green grass still grows, river still runs. In our hearts we know we are the ones. 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 We are the
Whoa! Whoa! We are the ones. Wonderful, powerful.
Thank you so
Please
much.
tell us when the song came out and specifically, is it a long time ago? Is it just hot off the press? It's so powerful and so
Thank you.
timely.
Thank you so much. Well, I guess we were writing songs together, and I for a long time had this desire to write something about this, and I was thinking about how it's really easy to just be like, oh, that's a problem. Someone else is going to solve that problem. And I don't really have to do anything myself. And I'm sure the politicians will work it out, or all those people in the streets or whatever. And the thing that I started to think about a lot was around this, especially around this issue of reconciliation. It's really going to be everybody, like all of us have to take some responsibility and take some steps. And there's things that we could do. In Canada, we had the Truth and Reconciliation Commission that issued 94 calls to action. There was also a commission on the missing and murdered Indigenous women that also issued a whole series of calls to action. So I think it's really important for people to read those and try to understand what that's about. And they're in all different areas: education, healthcare, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so we started talking about that.
Yeah, and sometimes we read those action items and think, a lot of those are for government or institutions, and as an individual person, there's not much you can do, but there actually are some things. And we sent some links, which I think got posted, and maybe we can post them again, but a few things where, as individuals, we've figured out little ways to either give a bit of money or do some education for ourselves. Like there's a really great online course called Indigenous Canada, and I took it in the pandemic because we had time to study.
Me too. Yeah.
And it's really a free way to get a better education, I think, about what's happening up here in Canada anyway.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it applies to the United States, and so,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And that message, we often feel like we are powerless when we see these crazy things happening around us. What can I do? And your song goes right to the heart of the matter. We start where we start. We educate. We look at our funds. We look at our community. We look at the organizations. There's so many ways in which starting with us.
Yeah. And for myself in Southern Ontario, after taking that course, I looked around because I was curious where would be the closest, where was the residential institution that was closest to me, the residential school. And so not far from Toronto is the Mohawk Institute, which it turns out has been it's now Indigenous, owned by an Indigenous organization, educational organization that's trying to use the site of that residential school as a place for educating and learning about the residential school legacy. And there's a museum, and you can take tours and so on. So I decided, okay, as part of my thing, I'm going to give a small donation every month to that organization. Like I just felt there's someplace in my community I could support, and they're doing really good work. And, so little things like that. It's not the gonna change everything right now, but
You
I
start where
feel
you
like I'm doing
start.
something. Exactly.
Yes. I think when I grow up, I'm gonna be just like you, the two of you. It's so powerful, man. It's so powerful. Jane, you want to say anything? I just put her on the spot.
Oh,
She was just
yeah.
watching.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's lovely. It's amazing to hear you share all this and the song and everything. Yeah, it's a whole different perspective. It's beautiful here.
It
Yeah,
is.
I don't know in England, like maybe there's a very different relationship to all of those issues, if it's
It's
at all.
it's I don't know. We don't kind of have quite that feel about it. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
We're
yeah,
finding out. But the words about we are the one, that's a universal statement
Yeah.
of whatever the heck is going on, wherever you live. Trust me, something is going on that would need and can use our input and our energy and our uplifting. That's universal. And that's what I think you speak to. Can you say a little bit about residential schools again for those of us who might not really get it, or just sort of summarize what that means, and then we're surely going to ask you to sing it again at the
yeah,
end.
we would love that.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something about
Well, that Canada developed this system of schools for Indigenous children, and they were often run by religious organizations, and they would take children away from their families and bring them to these schools, not voluntarily. So it was a really horrible system that a lot of us growing up didn't hear about. But I think the last one closed in something like 1996 or something. So it's not that far back in our history. So more and more awareness is I guess, coming up about what really happened there. And then now that they're all closed, like, there's a lot of work to be done to repair those relationships. There's a lot of intergenerational trauma around that. And so for us to learn about that is really important, I think. And we often think, oh, Canada is this land where everything is amazing and everybody loves each other. And I like to think that that's true on some level, but we have our issues as well. And so I think it's important for us to acknowledge those. Yeah.
Thank you. That is really helpful to summarize them. Absolutely, there are residential schools of that nature in the United States as well.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
seen some of the news stories because what started happening a few years ago, they started discovering the unmarked graves of little children on the grounds of those schools. And I know there's one in Pennsylvania that where they discovered around 100, I think, at least. There's now starting to be able to use sonar and I don't know what they use, but high tech to
Yes.
be able to find what's under the ground at some of these institutions, and they've discovered thousands and thousands of unmarked. Some kids were taken to these schools and never went home. And
Right. And their families did not know what happened to them, if
Exactly.
they were alive or dead. It was, yes, oh my goodness, it's
Exactly. So there's
such,
a terrible trauma and
yeah.
terrible legacy there that I think really needs to be unearthed, so to speak, and addressed, in a good way.
And as musicians, as people singing the stories and telling the words, that's one powerful way of getting that message and reminding us, informing us, inspiring us to learn more. So everybody needs to go out and find out more about these kind of issues, and it begins with us. We're the ones. Wow. So what's next for your performance, you fiery, dynamic duo of women? They actually do stuff individually, y'all, as well as together with this
Each
group,
of
they
us
told me.
individually, but we actually have some concerts coming up. So we're later today. We're actually heading to the bustling metropolis of Bayfield, Ontario, for the first ever Bayfield Ukulele Festival, and then we're doing some concerts. What's coming up next?
More in Ontario. So I
Yeah.
think we have some links if there are any Canadians around or any Americans and people from elsewhere that know Canadians. You could let them know.
Ottawa, we're going
Toronto.
to Ottawa, Toronto. We're going to have a concert in Toronto, Copoys Bay, which is a little bit north of Toronto. Yeah,
Things
like that.
coming up. But even I do a lot of teaching as well, so we're each kind of in between performing. We're leading groups. Eve is the ukulele teacher, and I'm just sneaking into the ukulele festival.
We gave her a free pass,
Yeah.
you know, with her
I think
keyboard.
those are the main things that are coming up next.
And so where are you teaching? Jane?
For me, mostly in Guelph, Southern Ontario, a little bit in Toronto as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I do mostly online classes, so I'm available to everyone.
Everybody take note.
I started during the pandemic and just didn't stop because I have lots of people who join my classes from far away. So
Beautiful. Wow.
Well, with that in mind, your bus trip to Canada, I'm ready yesterday after I leave this marvelous
I see somebody
place.
waving. Yes. Okay. All right.
yeah, come on up to Canada, everybody. Big stage
Teach my
Antidote.
harmony to
Oh,
them.
do you want to? Yeah.
Yeah.
So should I play the chords? And
I was just wondering if people want to hear the harmony part for the chorus, because you learn.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. One of the things I teach when I teach is harmony singing and kind of how to think about that. And a lot of times as singers, we go to a parallel harmony, which is just following along with the melody. But that sometimes sounds pretty. And we felt like with this song, we didn't want it to be pretty. We wanted it to be more powerful than pretty. So I ended up doing a drone harmony. So I'm mostly just singing one note. So when Eve starts,
green
grass still grows.
So we start on the same note.
I just stay there for pretty much the whole time. Green grass still grows, the river still runs. In our hearts we know we are the ones. It can be a bit of a challenge when you hear the melody to actually hold that note, but if anybody wants the challenge, then go ahead and try. Yeah.
All right.
it.
So are we ready to go again? All right. Here we go.
Yes. Yes. Hold on a second before you do it again. We want to announce. Oh, we'll do it after you finish that. I'm going to let
Okay.
people know. Okay, we're ready. We're ready. Go.
Here we go. We are the ones. We've been down in the valley where the sun don't shine. Been walking in the shadows for a long, long time. We sowed seeds of destruction at the end of a gun. Now we need to reckon with the damage done. Green grass still grows, the river still runs. In our hearts we know we are the ones. Seen the promise broken when the deal goes down. Shed tears of sorrow on bitter ground. But the guiding spirits of the ones who've gone stand beside us and call us on. Green grass still grows, the river still runs. In our hearts we know we are the ones. We are the ones to tend the flame. We are the ones to lay down this shame. We're standing on the threshold. We have eyes to see. We are the ones. We hold the key. It's gonna take some anger and the will to fight, the rage and the stillness, the dark and the light. It's gonna take courage and a fierce kind of love, the grace of compassion and the strength of the dove. Green grass still grows, the river still runs. In our hearts we know we are the ones. Green grass still grows, the river still runs. In our hearts we know we are the ones. We are the ones. We are
goodness. Everybody join me in giving a wonderful thank you to the Gathering Sparks, Eve and Jane, for bringing this message to us. It's so inspiring. Oh, we are the one. So we're going to sing, me and Jane. Green grass still grows, the river still runs. In our hearts we know we are the one. We got you, girls. We got you. All right. So we're going to take a moment and let everybody know about what else is happening for the remainder of this week. So we have on Saturday, Erin Espiritu, and then on Sunday, Katie Carr. The other two fabulous singers, you'll see their pictures there. So be sure to join us for that. Give it up again for Gathering Sparks. Thank you
for
thank
being
you.
here, everybody. Such a pleasure to sing. I love seeing all the faces pop up, and yeah, great to see
Oh,
you.
thank you again. So now I get to say see you later to everybody on this screen. This is Jane's first time ever being on the Daily Antidote of Songs. So what do you think?
I think it's incredible. I've heard about it. Somehow I've never got onto it. It's 5 o'clock here in Bath. But I'm in complete awe that you are now on, what is it,
1,636.
36. I just can't believe it. I mean, wow, amazing. So beautiful, very inspiring.
Yes.
Yeah, really
yes.
great. Lovely to connect with everybody. Amazing.
Just what Jane said. Just what she said. That's all exactly. And you might see her come bringing some songs in the future.
Yeah.
But thank you again so much. I'm carrying you in my heart, even Jane, with this song because it's so important to me. We are the ones. Oh my gosh. And thank you again.
Question, actually?
Yeah, we see there's a question in
Somebody
the
just
chat.
asked if it's recorded, and it is. I'm working on a YouTube video that's not ready yet, but we do have it recorded on our last album. So
okay, thank you. And of course, people can watch Daily Antidote of Song because this is available through YouTube and Facebook, right, Joe?
Yeah, totally like that too.
Yeah.
So they can always come back and revisit this magical time. But look for the recording, look for all the other fabulous stuff that's coming from Gathering Sparks as they set the world on fire. Just keep the fire moving, baby.
And thank you, Kathy and Candace and Joe, for making things happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And all those who have joined us on Facebook or YouTube, welcome. If this is your first time, don't let it be your last. This magic happens every day of the week, like every day. And you have people like the great Joe Rossi, who is the mover and shaker and the visionary for this project. And I can't thank her enough. Thank you, Joe, for all you do. I'll go on our list. Candace, thank you for being our tech person today, keeping everything, because without the tech, we would be no program. Yes. And Susan, good to see you. Against Linda, thank you for joining us. Orcas Island, Kathleen, thank you for joining us. Cheryl, you're in Ontario along with Eve and Jane. Oh, shoot, just down the road, right?
Literally down the road.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, for real? I was being funny. Okay. And then we have Kirk, Kirk, and there is Cher. Thank you all for joining us today. And thank you for Elise. And I think David in the picture too. Thank you for joining. Elsie, I'm sorry, not Elise. Elsie in Oakland. Yes. Thank you for coming. Eileen, it's so good to see you again. Your lovely spit. Pauline in Newcastle. Now, how far is that from Bath? Bath. That's up in the Northeast.
It's quite a way.
Like 7 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, well, just a little white ways up there. That's where you are, Pauline.
Not much for you guys.
Yeah, it's not much for us. And then Kevin with the flute in DC. Hey, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Athena, thank you for joining us today. Good to see you. And Kim, the Short Sisters. Hi, good to see you, Kim. Mabel and her beloved bear. Hello, Bonnie and Boise. Hey, Bonnie. Annette, California. Thank you, darling. Caroline in DC. Heart back at you. Diane in Puerto Rico. Yes. All right. And Kathy in Colorado. Oh, I'll take those hearts and just soak them in. Thank you. And Trish, who is visiting in Belfast, just like, up and around the corner and
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
little while away. Let's see who else we have here. Oops. We got Louise in Devon. Is that near us?
Yeah, not far.
Okay,
Hi, Louise. Yeah.
We're not far. We're in Bath. We're doing a workshop in Bath if you want to come down
Tomorrow.
on tomorrow, actually. We'll tell you all about it if you want to know. Hindi in Toronto, thank you for joining us. Jane in Texas, hey. Thank you. Deborah in Kentucky. Good to see you always. Let me go to my next page and make sure I get everybody to say about Cricket. Hi. Good to see you. Annie in Knoxville, thanks for joining us. Linda in Concord. And also I want to shout out to all of those who might be impacted by this terrible storm. We're keeping you and your families and friends all in our hearts and minds as we hope that everything goes well for you and safely. And Delia in Maryland, hey. And in Silver Spring, hello, Storm in Massachusetts. I always have to say Storm like that. Aloysius, hey, thank you for joining us. Bob, thank you for being here. I think I saw Hindi earlier. I see a site again. And let's see, Nancy's. We see Nancy's cow. We see Ray, Joe's mom. Hey, mom. And Gary. Hi, Gary. Say hi to Christy. Gretchen. And I think that's everybody. Let me see.
Yeah.
Did I get everybody? Yes, I did. So with that in mind, I will say see you all later. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful Friday. Have a happy Friday for the rest of your time. And I'll turn it and sending much love from Jane and I here in Bath, England. And